Hello and welcome to Starcastic Remarks. The Stars offense unleashes in the final 21 minutes of the game, and the Stars defeat the Nashville Predators with a final score of 5-1. I'm Chris, joined by my brother James. James, how did you think that awesome final 21 minutes was for the Stars?
Yeah, first of all, I want to talk about the first 20 minutes, which absolutely sucked. Absolutely terrible. The Predators really had a good jump to start the game. Stars, same old story. Can't start the game on time. It was a miracle they didn't score in that first period. They got out of it 0-0. And then from then on out, I really thought the Stars were the better team far and away, honestly. Especially like you said, 5 goals in the last 21 minutes. They just hammered them into the ground, and they outshot them in the third, like 12-3.
That's correct.
In the game they're leading, they were just downhill, and this is the Stars team that we need to see more often.
Right.
It's been MIA for a long time, and that was the most oppressive they have been in months.
And what's really scary about that is I 100% agree with you. The Stars have not looked like the Stars the past few games, and this is their 7th winner in a row, which should terrify everybody in the league. But you're exactly right. They haven't controlled the past 4 games on that road trip, especially. And it felt like everything offensively was just so difficult. Nothing was coming easy. And then finally, once Mikael Granlund scored that goal, it felt like the floodgates opened. And then the offense was just easy as all get out. And that's the kind of Stars team that looks like they can beat anybody. When the offense is flowing that easily for your best players, well, it looked awesome. So 100% agree. The first period, you're right as well. The Preds really took it to the Stars. They outshot us 17-5, and that's with Dallas starting the game with a 4-minute double minor power play. And they get outshot in the power play. I think it was 3-1. So, I mean, they started the exact same way. They looked the exact same as they have the entire road trip. Just kind of sloppy, sluggish. Oettinger making some incredible stops, except for the only one he let in was actually pretty soft. But yeah. It looked the same until this. And then the second period, you're right, they got going a little bit more, started forechecking, actually getting pressure in the offensive zone. And then finally they got that one. And man, it felt so good after that. All that pent up like anxiety, I guess, from the past few games of knowing like, hey, we're winning, but we're not playing our best. It feels like it's gone after that third period, because that is the best Stars hockey.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I know we have had a couple of games now where like, okay, the Stars are finally back. That third period was truly the Stars being back. I mean, it was the other team had no chance. I mean, it's truly what it was, and there was no doubt, especially the first minute. Marchment comes in and sinks one to put them ahead, and you're just like, okay, well, this game is over.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It's just
sure. And that's not how the rest of the game felt either, which is the craziest thing about it. I mean, it truly felt like they might lose this one, especially against a bad Nashville team. Yeah. I mean, Nashville's lost a lot in a row. They're due for a win.
Even through most of the second where they were playing better, it was still like, the offense is just weird.
Yeah, you're just not sure. And then
until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. Yeah, it took. I mean, those goals were scored just over a minute apart in different periods, mind you. But and they just never looked back, and you knew that the game is never coming back into Nashville's hands. It's truly this is one that Nashville kind of let get away, because they really could have easily won this one with just. Scoring more, I guess, is just really what they should have done, but that's what their team struggles with. But yeah, just downhill from the end of the second on.
Ryan Gardner with a big $9.99 super chat. He's still the reigning king of Starcastic Remarks, I've declared. Ryan said, remember when the Stars this year had serious issues getting scored on immediately after scoring themselves? Even when they're starting slow lately, when they finally break open, they don't let up. That's 100% true. That was becoming an epidemic, especially towards the end of that kind of streak. It was every time they scored, the Stars were getting scored on immediately. And this game especially proves Ryan's point even better. Like, they scored the one, and it was off to the races. There was no letting up at all. even in the third where it's like you're playing a bad team, you're coming back off of a long road trip, it's easy to kind of let off the gas. No, they floored it.
Yeah.
So that's a great point by Ryan there, and that's exactly what the Stars needed to do. That's what I was thinking going to the third period. Like, it'd be really easy just to pull up now. Like, we're not down anymore. You don't have to hoorah in the locker room. Hey, let's come back and get them. But they did anyway. They're like, hey, we're tied against the Nashville Predators, and we're the Dallas Stars. It's time to go, and they win.
And really late in that second period, especially, you could feel that goal building, and it was probably like 10 minutes almost of building, and you're just like, when is it coming? When is it coming? And the clock's winding down, and I'm thinking, are we really going to go into the third period down 1-0 against Nashville? And I feel like that late goal is just, it's so important. I know it's kind of dumb to say, of course, the tying goal is such a big deal, but it was such a big deal because they scored it before they got to the third. I mean, if you do all that pressure and Nashville gets through it somehow and they get to the break, I mean,
that's big momentum for them.
It's big momentum for them. And finally getting that goal at the very end was just, it meant so much.
Yep. Nate G with the super chat here, $2. Thank you, Nate. You're awesome. The amount of green in that stadium was too sweet. And I 100% agree. And your fellow Dallas Stars host, Ryan, was actually in the stadium tonight. So that's why he's not here. But yeah, the crowds have been insane in Dallas. And even the fandom surrounding the Stars, not just in the stadium, but like ever since the Lucas situation. I mean, the city's really rallied around this team, and it's been awesome. I mean, tonight they're on More 27 on the regional network in Dallas, and it really feels like a wagon is forming behind the Stars, and it's getting ready to push them. And they're gearing up at a perfect time right now, I think.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, like we said, the team's playing or has been playing pretty poorly in their last 7-game winning streak. So there is some huge potential on this team. If they can keep building over these, it's really been the past 3 games that have been decent. And then this one was good at the end, like really good. If they could keep building and you want to build into that Winnipeg game, that is the game. Okay. Even if you beat Winnipeg, you lose the rest of your games and you end up not getting the first spot. I don't care. Okay.
Agreed.
Winning that Winnipeg game is really important, or at very least keeping it like super competitive. That should be the game.
Yeah, that's an especially big deal after losing the 2 games against Winnipeg and Colorado in the middle of March there, who are both the playoff teams that, I mean, the Stars want to match up with, and they didn't show up for that. So 100% agree. You want to ramp up for that Winnipeg game, show up for it. And then the next 3 games are against non-playoff teams. If we want to rest more guys and stuff like that, that's the time to do it. Speaking of resting guys, the big storyline before the game tonight, Jamie Benn is actually kept out of the lineup. Pete DeBoer said for maintenance. He said he's having a little bit of lower body issues, but he said it was more maintenance than anything. That actually is kind of a shocking thing because it breaks his Ironman streak that was like well over 400 games.
I didn't know that. That's kind of funny.
He had the 5th longest active Ironman streak in the NHL and was held out of this game for a maintenance day. So for a guy like Jamie Benn, that's a big deal for that to happen. And maybe it's a mindset change for Jamie, honestly.
It's not a big deal to him. You know what he's gearing up for.
Right.
You know exactly what he's gearing up for. That shows you how much, where his mindset truly is. It's on the playoffs right now. He knows he needs this day off.
That's what it is. It's not a big deal in terms of him not playing tonight. It's a big deal in terms of how Jamie Benn plays hockey. Like he wants to be the guy all the time. He wants to be a part of every situation and being a difference maker. And him sitting out of this game is a good sign, in my opinion, of him recognizing his role on the team and just the facts of where his body is at. His style of play has beaten his body to a pulp, and he's letting himself rest and gear up for what's going to be maybe the most important playoff push of his career. So I think it's great that Jamie's doing that. It's smart that Pete DeBoer is doing that, and we might see more of this even for Otter, especially as there's no more back-to-back, or there's one more back-to-back game. It's the next one's actually with the Penguins and the Wild. But I expect to see Casey more than one more time before the season ends.
Yeah, especially with how well Casey's played. I mean,
Exactly.
he's not going to see the ice really in playoffs. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say.
Right.
So, I mean, giving him an extra game here in this last stretch would probably be a good thing for him.
Yep, agreed. Let's talk about some of the goals, James, because there were some absolute beauties tonight. I mean, pretty much all of them were fantastic. Just
Except
starting with the first one from Granlund. I mean, the shot pass from Duchene is perfect. He knows exactly what he wants Granlund to do, and then Granlund does it perfectly, going barn in off of the perfect deflection from low to high. I mean, that's an artful play right there, and Granlund making a big play when the Stars need it. That's the kind of player I see him being in the playoffs too.
Yeah, that like I said earlier, that goal is absolutely massive, and it was insane skill play too. I mean, he tipped it in the perfect spot. There's almost no chance for the goaltender to get that one unless he's on top of Granlund.
Yep, agreed. And then the next one was, like you said, a minute of game time later from Mason Marchment. That one is probably one that the Predators goalie wants to have back,
Annunen.
but it's a surprising shot by Marchment too. It's just over the goal stick, just under his legs. You got to give him a little bit of credit for that at least.
And it's a turnover too, so it's not he's not expecting a shot to come, and it gets to Marchment there, and Marchment freezes just enough time to make the goaltender think he's going to do something else, whether that be pass it off or shoot high, and he just quick snaps it between his legs. Like you said, that one probably you want back, but I mean, it's tough. I mean, Otter got picked on one earlier.
He beat the stick.
And Otter got picked on a similar play earlier in the game.
Yep, exactly, for sure. And then the next one is just gorgeous. The top line getting into the game in a big way with an absolute masterclass of a shift by Mikko Rantanen here. He's back checking all the way back into the Stars zone, gets almost below his own icing line to break up the Predators rush, comes back the other way just as hard, gets into the 3-on-2 rush, and Rope, Rantanen, and Robertson just pass it around no problem, and it's easy.
Easy little backdoor for him. So this is exactly what you want to see, though. I mean, Rantanen is just a part of the Rope and Robertson duo in this play. He just makes a short little pass back to Robertson, and that's all it takes. I mean, you don't need much more from Mikko Rantanen for Robertson and Hintz to score.
Right, agreed. And that's something that we talked about for a while, that Robo and Robe, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Rope and Robo, there we go, need to just play the way that they have been and let Mikko figure it out with them. And it looks like he definitely has. I mean, he's a point per game now. He's a point per game player now for the Stars, and he's been really good for a couple of games now. And tonight, later on the Bischel goal, he even makes an individual play that's fantastic as well. So he's making an impact individually too. Before we get to that one, the Wyatt Johnston one is just absolutely filthy. He extends his goal scoring streak to 6, I believe, and none of them are lame. They're all gorgeous. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but every time he scores, it has to be beautiful.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting. Really quite a rude thing to do to such a young goaltender. I mean, what is he meant to do there? But yeah, his hands are just moving faster than his brain even right now, and he's dancing around absolutely everyone. And this is the type of stuff that we look at with Wyatt. We're like, he can be a superstar. That's a superstar goal, and it's back to back over and over and over again. He's done in the past 6 games now.
Yep, 100% agree. That's the superstar stuff right there.
Oh, and you need to have a shout out for the passer on that play.
That's exactly what I was going to do next.
He took a huge hit to make that play, but it was a perfect pass, and Wyatt made sure that it wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, Borg with a great play. I think he knew he was going to get smashed, and he absolutely got smashed. Maybe the biggest hit of the night was Borg getting hit on that play, and it was totally worth it. I mean, what an outstanding pass. I thought Borg had a really good game tonight. It's tough for Bork right now with how deep this lineup is, because he excels more when he plays higher. The higher up in the lineup he plays, the better he plays. but there's not room for him. So he gets into that third line because Benn's not there, and it's just, I don't know. It's
exactly.
Weird.
Exactly.
I want to see him up there.
What are you gonna do? Put Benn on the fourth line?
Right.
Like,
so, and otherwise you're putting Dodonov on the fourth line. So
yeah,
there's no good answer. And then the last one, Big Bish, long goal scoring drought. When he first came to the Stars, he scores 2 goals in 2 games, and I'm thinking, this is not the same player I watched in Texas. He doesn't score goals. And then he went on that drought. That seemed more like it. But this is a great play here. And then another just outstanding pass by Mikko Rantanen. That's the vision that he brings to this team. He sees those passes, and that's really what he does best. He is a playmaker for sure.
And also, I mean, it's not just the goal from Bischel. He had the outlet pass to start it up the ice too. So he passes it off and just goes as fast as he can, and he eventually gets the puck back while he's still skating up the ice and knocks it in. So it was a great shift from Bischel. I thought he had a really good game tonight. It's a little easier when you're playing against worse opponents, but he's had problems with worse opponents recently. So he had a fantastic game.
And that's one thing worth noting tonight too, is that even in the first period when the Stars were kind of getting bombarded, I thought the D did a pretty good job of getting the puck out of their zone. Not a ton of giveaways, especially compared to the last 4 games on that road trip where the forecheck felt oppressive to these guys. It felt like they were making quicker decisions and able to get to those outlets a lot easier, even when we were playing bad. It felt like it was more of a forward issue than a D issue, which is kind of unlike what we saw earlier. So I thought it was a great game by the Blue Liners overall. And we got spread minutes really well tonight. So that's what you want to see as we come down the stretch here. We don't want to kill Harley before game 1.
And the spread minutes is kind of weird too when you're talking about, I mean, for most of the game, the score was either tied or the Stars were down by 1. So it's really just that third period is when you could play whoever you want, really, and not have to worry about it. So it's definitely a good note towards all the defensemen and how well they played tonight.
Yep. And then we mentioned it briefly, but we got to get back to it. And he actually earns the first star of the night tonight. It's Jake Oettinger with another 1-goal game. The goaltending has been absolutely insane recently. So tonight we allow 1 goal. Both Seattle games we allow 1 goal. Calgary we allow only 2 goals. And skip Edmonton, you shut out the Wild. So, I mean, the goaltending has been absolutely fantastic as of late.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and it's ramping up at the perfect time. I mean, this is exactly what you need to see from your goaltenders.
And what I really liked from Otter, especially in that first period, was his ability to navigate traffic and find those pucks with a ton of big bodies in his way. And that was really the Preds' MO. If you go look at their shot chart, there's a lot of stuff up high with people in the way looking for deflections, looking for screens, looking to take Otter out of the game from it. And it didn't matter. He was peeking around and getting blocker saves on point shots with 4 people in his way. That's crazy. That's not how you stop shots when there's a lot of traffic. You use your positioning in your body. But he's able to read and know where those pucks are going, even with barely seeing any of it. So his vision tonight was really great, which is also a really good sign, because when he had that tough stretch earlier in March, that's what it seemed like his big problem was. He just wasn't seeing the puck really well. And recently he's been seeing absolutely everything. So I love the way he's going right now.
And I think another thing that has helped him out a lot too is Stars getting back and picking up any rebounds they lets up. Because there were a couple tonight where he gives up some rebounds, but the Stars are always the first one to it. And if you can keep doing that from a Stars perspective, I mean, Otter's not going to give up much of anything.
Yep. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to mention was the line that got all this started was the Duchene, Granlund, Marchment line. They get the first 2 goals. Duchene with the primary assist on both of them. I mean, it's a really clutch goal again, and Duchene being really clutch when we really need him. And we saw that a lot last season during the regular season. And he got, of course, the one overtime goal against Colorado in the playoffs. But outside of that, we didn't see him too much. So this is where I think you can really get some improvement on the offensive side of the puck if Duchene is able to do what he's doing right now and continue it throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, it would be great. I think a big thing that's gonna help him is that you he hasn't had very much playoff experience. So last season was his first really deep playoff run that he's ever been on. And hopefully he can really build off of that, because the Stars are likely going to go deep again, barring a catastrophe for at least a Stars perspective. But you're gonna hopefully want him to build into this season's playoffs.
Yep, and it looks like he is right now. It looks like the whole second line is, and I think they're going to be a big deal when we get started. And if Seguin comes back, they could be going even better. They're the best line in hockey before Seguin went out, and it looks like should be coming back pretty soon. So that would be really exciting. Let's go on to biggest winner, biggest loser. Who you got, James? You got a lot of choices tonight. A lot of guys scored.
Biggest winner, I'll go with Marchment. I feel like it's just the goal is so big for him. I always love it when he scores. He always goes straight to the boards too. It's him getting back on track from what he was doing earlier in the season was really important, and he's finally been able to crawl back out of that injury that he had with the puck to the face, and that's a really tough thing to do. And he's fully back where he was to start the season, so yep. It's a really good sign.
And he's doing it with still wearing that mandible protection, which is good too. I mean, we saw, or we have currently been seeing, Dumba had that face cage on for a long time, and it seemed to really affect him in his play, because recently he's been playing a lot better. Tonight he gets 17 minutes time on ice. He was pretty invisible other than a few 90-mile-an-hour clappers, which, hey, I'll take that all day from Matt Dumba. I like that. So that kind of cage stuff can be really bothersome when you haven't been used to playing with it for so long. And the fact that he's able to do what he's doing right now with it on, and he said in a podcast with DLLS that he should be able to get it off come playoff time about. So who knows? Maybe it gets even better when he's able to see more. So I think it's absolutely awesome. He's been great. I should give mine to Oettinger, but I'm tired of giving it to goalies. It's getting boring now. I mean, they're just too good. So
they get an honorary one every single game until
there you go. Yeah, right now, until I say so, honorary biggest winner to goalies every single time. But mine tonight is going to be Matt Duchene. I mean, those two primary helpers were just so huge. They were great plays. They were really clutch right when the Stars needed a break. They needed something to go in. And while Mason and Granlund did score those goals, I mean, the reason they go in is because Duchene's passes and his plays there. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic by Matt Duchene. I think Ryan's on, or at least he's trying to be on. Can you hear us, Ryan?
I can. Sorry if I'm too loud.
Nope, you're good. Who's your biggest winner of the night, Ryan?
My biggest winner is Mason Marchment. Mason Marchment, he's got like 7 points in the last 4 games, something like that. We've been talking about him being really quiet the last month or so. It seems like he's back.
Yep, and it makes sense for him to be quiet. Like we said, he's got the weird face thing on. Biggest loser, James, who you got?
I'm going to give it to Annunen. He really thought he was going to have a really nice, easy night. First period, I mean, his team is just lighting up the other side. And even second period, he's playing really solid. And then gets that gross tip that goes through him, whatever. And then he just gets lit up for the rest of the game. Yep. I mean, that's so tough going into the third period. The game's tied, as a goaltender. And then the opposition just does that to you. And it was gross. And most of the shots he did not have a chance on, especially the Wyatt Johnston one. I mean, what is he meant to do? Especially with someone who's as confident as Wyatt is right now.
Yeah, I don't think Hellebuck would have saved that one. I mean, Wyatt's looking crazy. My biggest loser, and it's not because he's doing anything wrong, is Liam Bichsel. He has had 5 straight games of getting a penalty now, and at least half of them are just for being big and strong.
Yep, he's big.
The call tonight was absolutely atrocious. One of the worst of the season. It had to have been. And there's been several of those recently. The slander needs to stop. The dude does not commit penalties. And even on his penalty tonight, after they put the arm up for the call, he gets cross-checked in the head and slashed. And then he goes to the box. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's literally getting penalized because he's way bigger than anyone else on the Stars. and it needs to stop. That's stupid.
Hopefully that will stop in the playoffs. They tend to.
It should, but I mean, it kind of makes sense because he stands out so much. I mean, when you're
He's
that,
just massive.
when you're the only physical guy on the team and you're massive, it's like I get why they're doing it, but it's wrong. It is incorrect.
Agreed.
All right, Ryan, you got a biggest loser, and if you want to do a little recap of what you thought or anything you saw in the stadium tonight, that would be cool too. Oh, I guess we don't have Ryan anymore. He's gone. Let's see if is he going to figure it out? I don't think he is. All right. Ryan doesn't get a biggest loser. He gets one sentence in the podcast tonight, but he gets to say he was on it. So good for him. All right. Well, that'll do it for us tonight, guys. Stars win. Final score 5-1. Again, great to have the offense break out like that. It feels so much better. I've got a weight lifted off my shoulders. Be sure to check out DraftKings. Use that promo code THPN. It lets them know that we sent you there, and it gets you some free goodies. More importantly, they've got a new pick six option. You can do that in Texas, and you can do some pick 'em there, and it'll help us out a good bit too. Be sure to check out sarcasticremarks.com. You can check out our Who Cares Club there. You can also check out our merch store if you want to help us out a little bit more. You can check out our Discord. We got some fun stuff going on there. I'm sure Ryan will give his opinions in there tonight since he didn't get a chance to here in the podcast. Be sure to please like, subscribe, share this podcast with your friends. And next pod is going to be Saturday afternoon, evening-ish against the Pens after we have a weird back-to-back matinee game. So that'll be interesting. Right when baseball season started too. We needed this before baseball season.
I don't understand it, but okay.
These are not baseball games, but whatever. Stars are within 2 points of the division lead. This is crazy. The Jets are about to take it back though. They're killing the Knights already. So we'll see you guys again on Saturday, and GG boys.